Okay, and we are recording. Hello guys, it's Francina Simone with Midnight Scholar Society, and I'm back with the Jupiter and Gemini reading. So, I did an awful lot of channeling before this. Woo! The energy is wild. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about the difficulties that are upon us, and then the brilliant opportunities that are available left, right, wherever you're looking, especially if you're on this channel. If you're on this channel, honestly, you already know exactly what I'm going to talk about when it comes to the societal energies of what's going on. But you'll have been privy to all of this. It won't be concerning to you. If it is, just know, the Nine of Swords came out. If it is, for somebody it is, it seems. Just know that it's all mental to some degree, and we're going to talk about it. But Jupiter is coming in, it's going to expand an awful lot. So if you're somebody who's got a lot of worries and concerns and fears and stuff like that, you really got to work on grounding yourself. I've got tons of material on that over at the Midnight Scholar Society. But also there's a lot of material in that coming up on the channel with like the power of now. We're going over that concept. And oh, that book, sorry. I had like a sour candy before this and some water. And oh my goodness. It's like got spice in it, so it just came back. Ooh, which kind of reminds me. Sorry, that hit me like, you know, like I had so there's going to be some energy that comes back. I think we're going to see a return of something. Wow, that hit me like a blip. Honestly, rarely do things like that happen all at once for me. But there's, I think what I'm getting is Pluto. Pluto going into Capricorn is going to shake up an awful lot of stuff, and then when it heads back into Aquarius, we're going to see another shake up of a lot of stuff. I'm going to have to look at the astrology on that one, but I think somehow it's connected to Jupiter and Gemini. Otherwise, it wouldn't have come up just now in the way that it did. But I want to emphasize before we move past that and dive into the reading, because the energy is coming in fast, honestly. Wow. And also, you know when you choke on something and then your throat itches and you have to cough a whole bunch? Normally that happens to me, which is why I hate choking on anything, especially water and stuff like that. And it's not happening right now. So it's like your worst fears, or what usually happens, will not happen. Even, you know, there's going to be a shakeup or a surprise. Something might come back around the bend, something like that. I think something to do with Uranus. Either way, there's going to be, this energy's coming in, and I almost feel like it's going to be like a ball that just boinks into the water and then comes back up, you know, like, it's hard to explain, but it's the image is hitting me really hard. It's almost like something falls out of nowhere and lands in your lap, but there's a bit of buoyancy to it at first. Like it pops up and it surprises you. And that surprise may make you feel scared or make you feel worried or make you feel anxious or something like that. But as soon as it lands right back in your lap, you realize it's nothing like what you thought it would be. It's actually way better. It's actually way better. So we're in for a surprise here. That's a nice surprise. Wow. Didn't expect that. You know, when that card came out, I definitely didn't expect a positive angle to that. I was about to give you guys some advice, like, you know, don't be a worry for it, you know, just try to look at some joy and some positivity in your life. You know, I was about to go on my spiel, you know, and that's not what came out, something better. And it was a gift of some sort. So be on the lookout. I think it's got to do with the Uranus energy. That's what it is. I keep getting Aquarius. So it kept making me think about Pluto and, you know, but it's not that. It's Uranus. Uranus is like Jupiter's about to go into Gemini with a lift from Uranus. There's a bit of a because they're still conjunct. So as Jupiter moves from the Taurus energy, which is it's very structured. Taurus has a way of containing the kind of Uranus energy that we're feeling. So while there's a lot of upheaval, there's also a lot of order in the upheaval, and not necessarily order as in things make sense, because nothing makes sense, especially in societal energies, when you think about what's going on over in the West. But when you think about how the energies are Uranus is these energies going wild, it's slightly contained by groundedness. So it's grounded. However, once Jupiter, all that expansion and opportunity energy fluctuates into Gemini, it's no longer going to be grounded. So something's being held on Jupiter-wise. And I think, I think it's it's the abundance. The abundance is being held like this because Uranus is throwing it, that Aquarius energy, right? Throwing it into the network, into everybody. The Aquarius really represents, if you're not quite sure or how to take Aquarius energy, it's the community network. While Virgo talks an awful lot about the mycelium network, almost like that's a community network. That's a community network of distribution. However, Aquarius represents the community network of everything. Now, Pisces is the everything, but Aquarius is the net that holds that everything. Hence, the image of Aquarius is pouring from one vessel into another. The vessel, it's the network that holds the everything, so to speak. Funny, the Aquarius vessel and the vase and all that kind of stuff is actually something that was, if you read the Golden Ass, it's alluded to. It's a very mysterious sect of people who worshipped Aquarius back in the Roman days, where they were still very much pagan and stuff like that. So lots of wow. That, I'm telling you, the energy is wild. The stuff that it's pulling out of me is insane. But I think what I'm saying is with the grounded energy in Taurus, it's been holding on to it, but in Gemini, it's going to let it go, and that shit's going to pop up kind of like, wah, you know, you're not going to expect it, but don't be frightened and don't be afraid. The energy's just coming at you really hard and really fast is kind of the message. And I resonate with that because honestly, the energies have been hitting me very hard and very fast to the point where they shake me for a little bit. And then I have to sit and I have to wait in it. And then as I experience what's going on in my reality, the energy calms down again. So it's like these spurts, these like poof, poof, poof. That's kind of how the energy is coming in. So there's going to be a lot of great things coming at you, a lot of great opportunities. Every conversation, especially in Gemini, is going to have a lot of great opportunity. The point is to not allow that burst to disturb you too much. And I think that's only going to happen throughout Gemini. I was going to say, it's going to only happen throughout Jupiter and Gemini, which is full fucking year. Imagine having to sit in like constant surprise parties. That's like going to a circus, you know what I mean? Pow! It's Bobo, you know, like somebody constantly bumping out at you. But no, I think it's only going to be like that for about the month of Gemini. So sometime in June, we can look as we move into Cancer season for that energy to be stationed, like balanced out a little bit more. So there won't be so much of that surprise energy coming out of the nowhere. And so I talked about this a lot. The energy and in the last video with Gemini Sun and Gemini Venus. There's a paranoia energy to it. So your paranoia is going to be spiked an awful lot because this energy keeps spiking it because, but it's like an influx of really, really great things. So let's find out what those things are. Wow. Okay, so we've got an Ace of Swords that's out, the Chariot, which is, the influx of that kind of energy. Yeah, the Hierophant, which is inward stuff. The Two of Wands, which was in a previous pool, so we'll look at that one again. And then the Five of Swords. So, whew, yeah. Okay. Normally, I don't do card pulls like this. I'm just kind of going with the flow these days as I develop a new thing. Because everything's different. Everything's different. I don't know how to explain that besides the fact that nothing, I think, I do want to say really quick, everything that I say, I'm going to straighten this out. Everything that I say matters for one reason or another. So take it as you will. But I can only tell you my experience with stuff, and then you can use that to inform you, or at least to kind of give you a lay of the land about what you might be experiencing or how it might be playing out in your corner of the world. But everything is different. It's almost like a timeline shift, but much more monumental than that, much more clear than that, like noticeably clear. Everything is different. The energy is shifted, and that's even showing up in how I do readings. Like I plan out stuff all the time. It's like all the plans out the window. We're just going to go with what is. And I think that's kind of the level of this energy. Jupiter is coming through, and he's saying all the plans are going out the window. We're just going to go with what is. And what is the truth. Ooh, that's heavy. So this is great news for everybody who's been, jilted in life, I want to say. Like if people have been getting over on you in some kind of way, that's great news for you, because we're going to go with what is, meaning the truth, not how things are. That's not what is. what is the truth underneath all of the sludge, all of the lies, all of the scams and stuff like that. And that's kind of a big part of the Jupiter energy that's coming in societally, or at least what this energy is doing. Jupiter's coming in to help us figure out, to bring in all the opportunities and to clear the chessboard, so to speak, the playing board, across all channels. Meaning, it doesn't matter whether you're in the Western collective, which is a colonized collective, whether you're in the Eastern collective, which I can't speak to that. Doesn't matter whether you're in a decolonized collective where you practice and you're in indigenous spaces and places. And that's anybody who's practicing spirituality from a decolonized place. It really, other than that, you're in some collective shape or form. Either you're in your own, which is a spiritual one, or you're in a conscious collective elsewhere on this green earth. And they don't have to be Eastern, Western. They can also be of different pagan faiths, which are different spiritual collectives and groups and stuff. So the point is that everybody's getting these jolts. Everybody's getting this hit, regardless of what collective you're in. But if you're in a collective where you have been disenfranchised, and that is the wrong behavior, meaning you've been jilted, you've been wronged. The energy has come through to balance everything. So you get what you get what's yours. You get what you claim, that is yours. What's yours, you have to claim. So in other words, let's say all of these cards are mine. I can claim them all. Some people go and they just claim one. You're gonna get what is yours and within the realm of what you claim. So this is a great time to really open yourself up to being the fullest version of yourself as possible, because Jupiter always honors the brave. It's Zeus. It's Zeus energy. And in Gemini, it's all about communication, which definitely means it's about consent. And because, Mercury not only rules over Gemini, but also Virgo, which is very analytical. And Virgo is directly related to Libra, which is the house of terms and negotiation and contracts and stuff. Well, Mercury and Venus come up with all that kind of stuff. And they're in Gemini together, or at least Venus is in Gemini and Mercury's in Taurus, and Mercury will be in Gemini very soon. But the point is that Venus is in that house of negotiations and creating contracts and creating them from inception, the mind space. This is like when you reset your own mindsets. We talked about that a lot in the previous video, so check that one out. You really got to listen to that one to be able to truly get a lot from this one as well and get all of the benefits. But I also did an extended for that one. That's over at the Midnight Scholar, by the way. This video is sponsored by the Midnight Scholar Society. It's where we teach the dark arts such as witchcraft and astrology, alchemy, the way to the self path. If you just so happen to be looking for the resources to help you become the better version of yourself, so that you can be your own inner guide, definitely check out the courses and all of the newsletter, the podcast. We do also a book club. I mean, there's a lot of great shit, and it's like $20 a month. I teach classes over there, and everybody gets, all the juice. But also, when I do extendeds, I put them up over there, and there is also a Gemini Sun extended. There might be an extended for this. I don't know. Look at the link down below. If you don't want to join the Midnight Scholar Society, that's perfectly fine. You can always just purchase the extended using the link down below. That being said, thank you for a word from our sponsors. Back to business. So this energy, though, is really, it's coming in to level the playing field, where all the contracts and stuff are made with Venus and things like that. The way in which you negotiate your life, the way in which you go about your life, the way in which you perceive your life, all of those things are being looked at with Venus in Gemini right now. So with Jupiter coming in there, creating abundance of opportunity, it means that Jupiter is finally opening the doors. Honestly, I'm doing this reading right now. Well, Jupiter is up in the sky, but it's over in the 8th house. So this is really a great space for wealth, right? It's opening the doors to all of your opportunities. Definitely take a look at where Jupiter is in your birth chart, because that's going to get supercharged. That's where a lot of your opportunities are going to come through. If you've got Jupiter in the 1st house, your self-concept, you're going to have so many more options of who you can be in this world. And it's not new options as if they come from nowhere. No, your awareness is going to be brought to all of the options of who you are in this world. If you've got Jupiter in the 2nd house, your gifts and your talents, the ways in which your wealth, you're going to have access to your wealth. The 3rd house, you're going to have access to your mindset and communications. 4th house, the access to your soul and everything in which is regarded on your inner planet, your inner self. 5th house, your creativity, how you go out and self-express yourself in the world. 6th house, we're looking at the distribution of your talents and your skills and all of that kind of stuff, how you reflect on those things and hone those skills, how you serve others using those skills, how you serve yourself using those skills. So, you know, how you build up the version of you that's self-expressed. And then the 7th house is how you exchange that with others. You know, I'll talk about the other houses maybe at another time. You know, if you want to know more and all that kind of stuff, Midnight Scholar Society for sure. But wherever Jupiter is in your birth chart, whatever zodiac sign it's in, is going to give you a key on how this energy is really unfolding in your life, meaning what door this energy is coming through. For instance, if the door is coming through your 2nd house, then it's coming through your house's talents and skills, which will highlight by giving you multiple opportunities and abilities to go out and try new things, to be able to build your skills, to hone your, not even necessarily hone your skills, but to discover new ones, to get rid of, this is not the place to be self-conscious. Zeus is high confidence. Zeus has more confidence and than is necessary. This is the ruler of, you know, this is kind of like the ruler of ego to some extent, you know. And when Jupiter and the Sun are anywhere in the same room together, interesting things can really happen because you've got ego and inflated in the same room, which can be great for getting you over imposter syndrome. Or it can be terrible if you're really hiding from yourself and trying not to see and do and say certain things. You might feel too overconfident or overplay your hand, which is why this is also the space of, with Jupiter, sometimes there can be a lot of gambling and stuff like that involved with Jupiter energy. But Jupiter isn't necessarily the place that you go to make bets. That's definitely 5th house and Sun. But that added to this Jupiter ideal, like this expansion. Oh, anything could happen. I could be anybody. I could do anything. Yeah, but who are you putting the work in to be is the question. So for anybody who's been putting in that work to be themselves, you'll know because you're yourself. That's it. Anybody who's not will know because they're not themselves and they know that they're not themselves. Like, it's just very obvious. The best way to utilize this energy, and this is everybody across the board, but we're going to kind of talk about the upsides here and then and a little bit of the other side of the spectrum. We'll see how the reading plays out. But the best way for everybody to use it is to simply follow their joy. And if you follow any of your negative emotions, your negativity, you're going to be like placing bets there. So the thing is who do you want to be? How do you want to be that? And how are you going to put that out into the world and then start doing that? Challenge yourself. Jupiter rewards the brave. If you challenge yourself and show up and do the things that, you know, go for that opportunity, just, you know, be your damnedest self. You're going to reap massive rewards. So let's talk about it. We've got the Ace of Swords here, and this is, I mean, you know, the swords is all air energy. So this is new, again, a new way of thinking. And then we've got the Chariot, but it's coming in fast. You know how this energy, I told you it was moving really fast earlier. I almost choked on my water. It was kind of weird and crazy. And then on top of that, it wasn't bad. I didn't have the same effect that I normally would. It's like I choked on my water and it went all down the exact same way it came up, and I'm saved from having, you know, the spasms that come afterwards. But then we've got the Hierophant here, which is all about inner guidance. This is all about, you see she's got a box over her head. She's not paying attention to she's listening to her own inner guidance. She's got her own world going on and she's focused on that, and that's what's leading her. So this is really, I mean, you know, the cards read themselves. So we've got the Two of Wands, which is all about planning and preparation. So with this, collectively and societally, you already know the world's going wild over in the Western space. There's a collapse happening on multiple levels. You've got different industries that are collapsing left and right, and nobody knows who's going to bail out who, because there's nobody left to do any of the bailing out except for all the people who caused the scam and who are part of their Ponzi schemes in every single industry. And if there's one thing a greedy person's not going to do, it's going to be bail out everyone to save themselves. They would rather die with a pile of their own money than save and help anybody else, because that's how greed operates. And so that's what that Five of Swords stuff is here. There's going to be preparation for that kind of period of time. Now, the negative thing is that we're going to have to experience the period of time where greedy people get caught. Now, I know that everybody's excited for the truths and all that to come out, but you have to realize, if you've ever been in a traumatic situation or dealt with family traumas, when truths come out, it is very rarely ever does it feel good, except for the person who needed to speak it. And even for them, it's a very traumatizing situation, and it only feels good after years and years and years and years of recovery and healing. So other than that, it's a sore subject. Nobody likes. That's why greed and all sorts of terrible things hide itself really well, because most people would rather live in la land than have to deal with all the problems that come with addressing a problem. So right now, that period of time is not going to be fun for people who don't like addressing problems. However, if you plan now, you become a person who is totally fine, even keeled and A-okay addressing problems. So that future that's coming where this tower is hitting, America's falling. When the tower hits the ground, the question is, do you want to be under the rubble screaming, I don't know what's going on, what do I do, where do I start? Or would you like to be in that sphere of people who are like, well, yeah, I've been saying that for years. Anyways, and getting back to your everyday programming, your regular life that you've built up outside of a colonized system. That's a person who probably has a community, right? Usually we are not panicked about one community falling if you exist in another one. For instance, and I'll just say this, if you've ever been in any type of fandom community or any type of community space, like I used to be on BookTube back in 2016, if the community would have fallen apart, right, I'd have been fine. I exist in other communities. But there were some people who that was their only place to socialize, their only place to have community. And that happens to many different people for many different reasons. Sometimes you're in a phase of your life where you're only in one community. So if that falls apart, there goes all your socializing, there goes all of your way of self-expressing and existing in front of other people, and that can be very detrimental. So the thing is you don't want that to be the case when whatever is hitting America hits. And honestly, I've heard other energy readers say as soon as 2027, I don't know. But the thing is you just want to have worked on yourself. You want to be the person who can handle yourself and handle the problems that are in front of you. And then whatever happens then, you'll be in the place to be able to handle it, which means you don't even have to worry about the worrisome stuff between here and there. You don't even have to worry about it because you won't need it and you won't have worries. There are always people in situations who are not worried even when the whole world seems like it's on fire, because they're capable of putting out fires. They're also capable of preventing them in their own spaces and places. And as a community, they're capable of preventing them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's, I want to preface this reading with that. Let's go ahead and jump in though, to the full thing. Let's say, what can we look for when it comes to preparation? Like, I know this is Jupiter's coming in to give us all these opportunities so that we can be more embodied, you know what I mean? And when you're embodied, you're always in the right place at the right time, which means you're the person. I mean, I'll just put it this way. In times of tragedy, there are people who excel. And that is not to say in a monetary sense, they do not capitalize off of tragedy. No, their skills and their talents are capitalized off of. They capitalize off of their skills and their talents to be able to help, to be able to aid, to be able to build, and that in itself builds wealth. That wealth can be material, and that material wealth can translate into money, sure, but it can also translate into building community, building places and spaces, building resources, building connections. Wealth is a healthy community. That's wealth. Wealth is being able to tell your kids be outside, and if there's ever a problem, the whole community is on it. Because you know each other, and you trust each other, and you know how to, you know who to go to and who to ask. And while people may have their petty squabbles, it's never more important than everyone's humanity. That's community. So if you're in that space and place, you know what I'm saying? If you're able to build that, that's building a healthy space and place for everybody else. So let's see, what is Jupiter bringing in for us? Wow, the lights are flickering. I mentioned in one of my other videos, the lights flicker because I'm in an eco-friendly space and place. I'm in Mexico right now. And oh my goodness, I'm so sorry if I was super loud. My mic was so close to my face. But I just so happen to be in an eco-friendly place. Wow, this is really, the shuffling's taking forever. And because of that, sometimes the lights flicker because, you know, they're not pumping out electricity up the whiz-wah. Okay, so here we got the Knight of Swords. So something's coming in fast. Not these cards. Honestly, normally things happen a little, okay. I'm complaining. Let's see what the universe says. Not the high priestess. I feel like this is a gag order. Stop complaining about the cards. Anyways, something's coming in fast. And wow. I wonder what? A choice. There's a choice to be made. Okay, I guess we're gonna have to clarify these because I have no idea. So something's coming in fast. Let's find out what. Okay. I can't tell if we're going towards. Oh, a new opportunity is coming in fast. So whatever fell apart, something's coming. Oh, something's coming in last minute. Oh, it's communication. Something's coming in last minute. It may seem like something's not working out or something's not going well. Whatever may be happening, I feel like this is how we're starting, Gemini. Is things don't look like they're, feels like there's a lot going on emotion, or not spiritually, like a lot of compulsions. Maybe you've been, I can tell. So sometimes you get a lot of ideas. You get a lot of things that you need to do. You see the full picture, the big picture, and then it feels like a burden, right? Where do I start? How do I go? Which way do I go? Which one do I do? Like for me, yesterday I spent completely in a state of non-existence. No, I was resting yesterday, but also I have, I'm working on a book. I had to get these videos out. I needed to do quite a few things, to be totally honest. And I have this long list, and I was trying to figure out what do I do first, and trying to figure out what I should do first kept me going around in circles and circles until I realized, well, maybe I should just rest since I have no want to do any one thing. So the thing is and then it just so happened that today was the perfect day for me to do all of these readings. So there's that. But that's kind of how the energy feels. It feels like there's a bunch of stuff coming in. It's a bunch of communications and a bunch of downloads. So be very much aware. They're coming in, but they're coming in. And Four of Cups is usually I'm not paying attention. I don't like any of these options kind of a thing. There's another option coming in. So you, like, whenever you feel like you're in the Five of Cups, in other words, where you're like, oh, I don't want to do that, and oh, I don't want to do that, and oh, I don't like that either, but I got to do something. Just choose to do nothing. Do nothing. Something else will come in. Always, this is a kind of a thing of follow your joy. Sometimes you just have to turn around and say, well, there must be something else if it's not this, and then just wait for it to come. It will come to you, and it'll come in quick. And this card is kind of like, this one always reminds me, this Knight of Swords, of something that's coming from the darkness. So, like, because he's going into the darkness. So I almost see it like he's going from one realm to another. Almost like when he gets fully into the darkness, he'll be in a totally different world. So you don't see this coming. Normally you'd see someone riding up on a horse, it takes him a little while to get to you. But this one is like, bloop, bloop. It's like he came out of nowhere because he just traversed the world. So there's something coming from another timeline. There's either you're shifting into a different timeline, and you may be picking up on all of this stuff, but don't worry about it. You're good. She looks like she's struggling with juggling. But let's see, there's a choice to be made. So I'm wondering what that is. I think this is just speaking to the do nothing. If you don't know, then and normally that's not the advice that's given. At least for me, I'm always like, make a choice. But sometimes if you're blind, maybe if it's saying right or left, maybe neither one of these are good choices. She's got two swords on her neck. Neither of these are good choices. I would much rather a third choice or something different. But let's see. Wow, the Hierophant came back to clarify. So yeah, inner guidance, do nothing and go inwards. Oh, King of Pentacles, Strength, and King of Swords. Yeah, this is absolutely it. So there is something coming that is only going to come from your inner guidance. It's only going to come from the inside. So you have to be paying attention to yourself. Do not get wrapped up in paranoia energy by externalizing it, by trying to figure out what you should do. Instead, if there is nothing in front of you that feels good, then choose to do nothing. Choose to always just follow your joy and wait until your joy arrives. That is something that a lot of people have been taught to ignore since childhood, sometimes in school, or even in adulthood and through career paths and all that kind of stuff. You pick your gambit of it based on how you grew up, right? But sometimes you're taught to ignore feeling good or doing things when you feel good to do those things because you're taught to do them on someone else's time. But this is the one where you have to do it on your time. Focus on your time. This guy works on his time. This guy thinks because he's on his time. That's strength to say, no, I will wait for my timing. And, that's kind of something, it's relevant. That's something that I said last night. I was like, I'll just wait on my time. If I can't figure out when to do these readings. I was going to film them, and I'll look at these ones. I was going to film it and stuff like that. And I was like, man, I can't get I didn't want to sit out here because I was resting, and I'd rather chill in the bed. And I was like, am I being lazy? And I was like, there's no such thing. And, I was like, I'll just do it on my time. What's the rush? I know the sun's going in Gemini, but you guys will be fine. You know what I mean? Like, maybe there's something I need to know before that. And lo and behold, yeah, there's a lot of, there's always something that the next day brings, so there's that. But I went to clarify this High Priestess, and we got the Six of Swords, which is leaving something behind. This is leaving something broken behind. This is a repeating thing. This is you've got to stop trying to do things the old way. You've got to do something the new way. And she's walking into her intuition, literally. And there's a magician underneath this. So let's look. We've got the Four of Wands, which is a victory. But this is a victory where you come together. You're united with yourself. So this is transformation. This is the Temperance card. Wow, Jesus Christ. These are, okay. So not only transformation, but transformation into a state of peace. And then we've got the King of Cups, which is pure balance over your emotions. The Two of Cups, which is a balanced energy coming in, all with the Magician concluding it. That's insane. That's an insane lineup. Can you all see that? That's a crazy lineup, yeah. And look at this. The infinity sign here and the infinity sign here. The moment you walk away from your old way of doing things, that Four of Cups over here that are all spilt over, something new is coming in, but you've got to go inward. You've got to go in. Do nothing. I'm telling you, if there's one advice you take when you're in this energy, do nothing. I know that and I'm telling you this from someone who is so, I have a lot of Aries energy in me, so it sometimes can be so hard for me to do nothing when I feel like I should do something. Do nothing unless it feels good to you. If it feels good, then by all means. If it doesn't feel good, if you feel like you're going around in circles, if you feel upset, if you feel down, if you're feeling insecure, stop. Stop until something new will come in that will bring you clarity, but you have to go inward. Don't stop and then stay hanging around everybody. So for instance, let me tell you, put it into a story form. If you're out at a social gathering, I heard this one on TikTok. If you're out at a party, right, and it's your work party, and let's say there's a coworker, she always shows up dressed great. She's the belle of the ball, this, that, and the other, right? And you kind of show up and you feel like you never have anything to say, and you're never dressed quite as good, and you don't get as much attention. And maybe you want the same job as this person, or you guys are looking at the same job, and you're up on the same, to get promoted, and you're up against her or him or something like that, right? Don't interact with people from that place. If you start going up and talking to people or talking to your boss, next thing you know, you're probably going to start comparing yourself to them without even meaning to. Oh yeah, well, Barbara, she's great and everything. She's not a klutz like I am, ha 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 ha. Or even worse, when you go up and you start comparing yourself to put that person down because you think maybe if you point out some of their flaws that your boss will agree with you. When in all actuality, it's a holiday party. Nobody wants to talk about jobs or promotions at all. They just wanted to have fun. So this is one of those things where it's like, if you're in an insecure place, do nothing, say nothing, move into a totally different direction. Something else is coming into you, a new idea, a new way of thinking about it. Do not act from this place of panic. This place of panic is never going to work out. You got to stop. If you stop, this is a place of strength, security, gives you the time to reflect with clairvoyance. That's the King of Swords and the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles and the King of Swords are there to help you, and when you go into your inner self, but you have to have the strength to do nothing, to choose to do nothing. Now, I know in the previous video I said when energy comes to you that it's going to move you regardless, right? When energy comes, it'll move you regardless. But this is about when you don't have the energy. When you don't have the energy, don't move. Wait until the energy comes in. The energy, if it feels restless, this, that, and the other, wait, sit with your emotions, go inward with yourself to understand what's going on there. That's part of the Jupiter, not the Jupiter in Gemini, but that was part of the Venus in Gemini reading about how to do that, how to sit with your emotions and stuff like that. And the Sun being in Gemini, you guys have to do it. I keep going over this because I'm like, this is the key, honestly, because otherwise you can get tripped up and all that kind of stuff. So, and I'm saying this because I know a lot of people actually want to do this, they want to do that, but then they feel at the last minute, like if they don't act on their fears, they'll lose out on everything that they want. Don't do that. It's kind of like, if you get to that feeling, think about Aladdin in the Cave of Wonders. Don't touch anything in that cave. Don't touch anything else. You just got to tell yourself, don't. You're going to be tempted. Don't do it. Because if you go inward, you'll realize that the ways, all that stuff that you were looking at, that you were thinking, those are broken swords, and they would have never won you a victory. It would have never won you a victory. Those are broken swords. Those are broken mindsets. They're not helpful, this, that, and the other. When you go inward, you can dismantle all of that kind of stuff, because you've got the Magician down here. And then we've got the Four of Wands, which means a victory in the soul. That's a victory on the soul level, on the spiritual level. Yes. Finally, I'm inspired to do something different, to take a different path. And then we've got the Death card here, which is all about that rebirth. And then we've got Temperance on top of that, where look at her. She's so happy. She's even got her tits out. She's in warm water. The stones are balanced behind her. It's so majestic. You know what I mean? This is the way to live life. She's got her yoni popping, all that kind of stuff. And then we've got the King of Cups here, who's totally chill under all emotional. It does not matter what's happening. His cup is full. His cup is full. He is balanced. Look at that. And then this Two of Cups, these two, they look happy. They're perfectly romantic. They're just enjoying their time. All because you went inward. This is a yes. Look at that. Look at that. Yes. I'm just saying. This is definitely, wow. If that's not the sign of Jupiter and Gemini, how you can prepare is by mastering the art of being able to go within when you feel unease and figure out what that unease is, where it's coming from, and then staying there until you find clarity. If you do not have clarity, don't act. Act with clarity. Clarity will come with you. That's the key to all of this. And that's the preparation, because you know what it is like Jupiter and Gemini is coming, like if you take that energy and you do that, right? Then you're prepared to be able to interact with all of the, what's underneath all of this? The world. Wow, perfect. Yes, that's the world. I was going to just say, I should have said it before I turned this over. Dang, then I would look so cool. But what I'm going to say is, when you do all of that, then you seem and you look, you'll be perfectly set up to be able to recognize your opportunities, stay even-keeled and cool in the emotional roller coaster of making choices and solving problems and taking steps out on faith and challenging yourself and this and that. It won't seem like such a scary thing, or like you've got so much to lose. You won't be doing it from a place of fragility. And so then the world will be in your hands. You'll have the world in your hands. The world's your oyster, essentially. That's what that is. Yeah. You know, it's funny. I have an energy reader I really love to listen to. And he always says that too. He's like, and now I finally get it. I usually am just like, oh my God, just get to it. It'll be like, oh man, I should have said that before I turned over the card. Then I'd look cool. And I'm like, you already look cool. It's enough. Oh, here we go. The Three of Cups. I was about to put that away. So it's funny because now, you know, it happens. It just happened to me. And now I'm like, and now, you know, it popped into my head. So I'll have to send some like good vibes and solidarity. Okay, so let's talk about the type of opportunities that we're going to see. This is the Three of Cups. So right away, I'm thinking opportunities of emotional fulfillment with others. So there's going to be a lot of good energies coming in. A lot of, if you're used to having to work with stuff that it's energetically sus, you're not sure, this is some old shit, you've seen this before, all right. You know, I keep thinking, there was once, I met this person, I was at a business, it was a conference of some sort, And it was an association of something. Anyways, I met this guy there, and he was like, oh yeah, I work with this person and this person. It seemed like he's got a lot of businesses in the area. He's very local. And I was considering, like, what are the pros and the cons of being more of a local business versus a digital one, right? And we were talking to a bank who is huge in investing locally in the community and all that kind of stuff. And I was chatting with them about marketing and all this kind of stuff. And the guy, he was like, wow, everything you said was really great. We should meet up or something because, I know a lot of people locally. And I was like, oh yeah, do you think they're interested in digital, branching out into the digital space? Because honestly, if you're not digital yet, it's not a good, what are you doing? And he's like, yeah, we should talk more. So, obviously I jump on the phone for him for an hour and we talk about some stuff. And, he seems, I couldn't put my finger on it, but there was something that was like, something a little off. But, I don't like to judge people at first, so I give it a go. So, we agreed to meet up for like some coffee or some shit like that. And I get there and, the guy, he's burnt out, and like he was just looking for an opportunity. And, I look shiny and it's like, look, you can't con me. I'm just going to ask you, let me put it this way. You know how they say you can't con a con man? Well, you know who you can't con? Somebody who's actually practiced in what they do. Because the person who's practiced in what they do like to talk about the concrete things and physical things. And con men just like to talk about dreams and thoughts and ideas and stuff. And yeah, ideas are cool. Thoughts are cool. I'm sorry, this is my Mercury and Taurus coming out. But practicality, people. As a doer, you know when people don't do shit because when you talk about the doing parts, they get so confused. And anyways, the moral of the story here is if you normally come into contact, I remember I was like, man, what the fuck is in my energy that keeps pulling these people in? I'm getting frustrated at this point. It wasn't all people who were like, I would say like he was kind of giving off con man vibes, but it wasn't just that. It was people who, were insecure about their space and place. So, they're making decisions based off of their fragility instead of based off of what's in front of them. And, I kept getting that. And I was like, what the fuck? But, finally, I don't know, something happened and that all shifted in my energy. So, they're not rolling in now. This is new energy that's actually conducive. So if you were constantly in contact with people where you're just like, what is this broken fucking record? Like, is it me? Am I the thing that stinks? Why do I keep being surrounded? No, the energy, it stunk, but it's being cleared out now. There's new energy that's coming through. And I don't know when you'll see it. Everybody's on their own timeline with life and stuff like that. But it's coming in. And it's gonna, I get the feeling that it's gonna be, if you're used to being a little bit more closed off, this energy is gonna come in and you're not gonna, for me, a lot of people try to force friendship early. This will be like something that's more balanced, where people want to do collaboration and it's way more reciprocal and even killed and, everybody's healthy and stuff like that. I don't know what it was. There was it was something in the energy, honestly, because it wasn't just me who was experiencing this. This was like a collective thing because this isn't something I normally experience either. So it was very strange, I should say. You always get something like that. Like, you always get some type of scammer who comes up at some point in time. But it was like everywhere I turned, everyone was wildly insecure and in their business practices. And I'm not even talking about like people with relationships with people. I'm talking about business-wise. I was like, what is, what's in the water is what I was saying. So, yeah, that's getting cleared up. And I feel like this is more of a collaborative thing. I'm getting off this card, it's giving office party. So, if you've been dealing with those jobs or those spaces and places where people are totally insane in the workplace, nobody's solution oriented, people just want to get what they can get from the place and get out. The job market for the past 2 years has been wild because, with 2020, that blew up the job market when it came to remote work and shifting things around. So, things were weird for a while, and now they started to settle, and all these companies started laying people off and acting, wild with their inflation rates as if nobody knows that they're the one doing it. People got bold, I want to say, and they didn't understand how TikTok worked and that everybody was interconnected. So they're all trying to pass off a scheme on stage and in front of a live audience, and it's not pretty. And so it leaves you in a space where all your third spaces, your work spaces, your home life, sometimes you're surrounded by bad energy because it's everywhere. It was permeating everywhere, but it's getting cleaned up. So I'm like I said, I'm getting collaborative vibes from this. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities to collaborate. What's underneath it? Yeah, the Two of Wands. See, this is this is definitely collaboration. This is teamwork. You get what I'm saying? So there's going to be a lot of that. Let's see if there's anything else. I'm gonna shuffle like this. I've been trying to get into that space where I just pull the cards off the top, but I don't know. Maybe that's just not for me. Oh, here we go. There's just the Four of Cups. And we're gonna have to clarify that because I'm not sure. I feel like these are just like with the Three of Cups, this is teamwork, but then there's the Four of Cups where it's almost like now because you have you are full of teamwork, you're starting to get a little stingy. Like I don't know if I want that, and maybe that's kind of what that means is don't get too full here. So if you do get teamwork and you do see things working out for you, don't then turn into a massive bitch about it. And that just means, don't turn into an elitist. Oh, look, my team, we've got it. It works. This, I'm perfect. Everything's perfect because, you're ignoring other energies that could be possibly coming in. So this is like that don't go inclusive. Or exclusive. Don't get exclusive right away. Or perhaps this is saying, if you're exclusive, you might miss the teamwork energy because, maybe you don't feel like it works. Let me see if this one's going to clarify. Yeah, this is the teamwork. Yeah. So I think that, wow, it's Two of Wands came back out again. So this is kind of the underlying energy is with it, you're going to have the opportunity, I think, to join teams. So the thing is don't expect it to be the same as it was before. Don't expect that. Otherwise, you're going to waste these opportunities because look, all the Two of the Cups are full, are slushing out, and the other ones are going to go probably pretty soon after that. Let me see. Yeah. Because I've got the Six of Pentacles here, and look, she's like trying to give her something, and then we've got the Six of Pentacles. Wow, the Six of Cups and the Six of Pentacles, both right here. So this is a gift. It's an opportunity. So receive. You see how many cups there are here? Receive. That's good. It's going to turn into something physical. This is how you get it. This is how you get from just energy and to work is to be receptive. Be receptive. Sure, be discerning. You don't have to accept everything that comes your way, but we'll see. I do want to know, we'll see as it unfolds, because this energy is really, there's so many layers to it. Let's see. Five of Pentacles, yeah. There we go. So we've got the Wheel of Fortune, the Moon, and the Page of Swords. I don't know. Let me sit on it. What's underneath it? Oh, we've got the Ace of Swords. It's come back again. Let's feeling that. The King of Pentacles. Wow, the Queen of Wands. Okay, so the King of Pentacles is under there. I mean, I wish I could say that I knew what this was. It's the energy's a little, wow, it's a little, it's tight. It's tight. And I think it's this Five of Pentacles is causing a restriction of some sort, so I can't understand what it is because I'm sitting here like, be receptive and you get things, but then there's a tightening here. And I think it's there's a restriction. What is this restriction? I can't tell if it has something to do over here with the being stingy. Like if you have a restriction, your Wheel of Fortune, which, the Wheel of Fortune is a great card. It's about balance and balance in the soul. Like the Moon here is what I'm seeing in the inner world with the soul, and it's all because of some new, I don't want to say new venture, but it's kind of like with this Page of Swords, she's got new ideas. She's got new this, she's liberated because she knows herself, but she's got a new mindset, she's going out into the world with a totally new way of looking at it. And I can't tell if this is from being out in the cold. Let's see, we've got the Five of Pentacles, okay. Four of Pentacles, I'll do that here. Inner guidance, the Five of Wands, discord with the Eight of Wands. Okay. There's stability. Okay, I think what I'm getting here is an image of something. Let's keep pulling cards because I'm getting a story instead of just what it is. Let's see. With the Four of Pentacles here, there's a security happening with this Wheel of Fortune. Like there's balance happening and it's going to be stabilized. But like the Hierophants come back. This card's come up a few times in different decks, but the Hierophant comes back on top of the Five of Pentacles, as if, you know, like when you go into your inner state, whether you're out in the cold or I think there may be, okay. I think this restriction is happening for some. This might be a word of caution when it comes to this Five of Cups or this Four of Cups. See, I said Five of Cups there. And don't we have the Five of Cups somewhere? No, we have the Five of Pentacles. But with this Four of Cups, with the discernment, be careful. I think this is what it is. It's not going to be like what it used to be. What used to be is that you would have to give a whole bunch to get a whole bunch, or give a whole bunch to get very little. And even when you thought you were getting something reciprocal, right, it turned out not to be, and then that dwindles and gets even less, and there's usually discord at hand in your soul, you're confused. But the thing is like, even if that looks like where it's going, even if you feel all of a sudden like I don't know, how do I keep ending up in this spot? I'm telling you, Eight of Wands, there's more coming. I think with Jupiter, they're saying there's more coming, and it's coming out of the darkness. Like that's where the moon is here. There's a Wheel of Fortune. There's something happening. And I think that's what it is I can't see it because the moon card's here. There's something that we don't know and that we don't see that's changing everything. And it kind of goes back earlier to the Knight of Swords. It's coming out of the darkness. It's kind of like, you know how he was going from the light realm into this dark space? And then I said, yeah, once he goes into the dark space, then he'll pop up on your radar all of a sudden, and it'll be like he's just right in front of you. You know, normally, you know, I'm thinking about being on a castle ledge somewhere. You know, normally they were up high on castles. They could see riders coming in from miles away. But this time it's like you're going to be looking out on your little parapet or some shit like that, and you're gonna be looking out, and then all of a sudden there's a rider like 2 feet away from the castle door, and you're like, where'd he come from? Where did he just come from? And he came from a totally different reality. He just blipped into your reality all of a sudden. And that's how it is. It's so sudden. It's so sudden. Here's the Eight of Wands. Something that comes in is so sudden. So go inward, because you may feel discord. This is the Five of Wands has come up again. It was in the Gemini and Venus, I think. Or maybe it was in the extended, I don't remember. But whatever it is, it's you may feel lots of discord because you cannot see, you can't see, you don't know what it is, you don't know what it is. So don't be fooled by old events. Yeah. Two of Pentacles. Yeah, there's balance coming in. And why did this? Yeah, we've got the Emperor, and the Knight of Swords came up again. Look at that. Strong foundation. It's coming in, but it's strong. This Emperor card is, look at the roots of the tree, the top and the bottom. This is also very representative of the 7th house to some degree, with the roots, the tree on top and the roots on the bottom. And then we've got the sun coming out. I mean, there's so much going on with this card, but this card is a strong foundation, something strong, and it supports life. There's an owl in there. Wisdom. There's wisdom in that there tree. Look at the Page of Cups behind that. Wow, this is her creativity. Yeah, this is, she's literally painting her own cup. She is making her own energy. So there's something there. But with the Emperor here, and then the Knight of Swords coming back, I'm telling you, this is coming out of nowhere, and it's building your foundation. So I think the message from earlier about really choosing to do nothing but following your joy is tantamount, because when you do that, this finds you easier. Like if you notice, there's lots of stars in these cards. Just imagine the stars is representing joy of some sort. Like that's the energy of joy when it sparkles around you. When you shine and you sparkle. Like look at these bitches. They're upset. There's no stars in this card. They're just arguing and yelling at each other. There's stars in this card. There's stars in that card. Let me see. There's stars in this card. Like this person's out in the cold, no stars except for what's in that pinnacle. These have stars, 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 stars. Like there's stars everywhere on these cards except for what's in the dark we cannot see. Someone who's been left out in the cold, someone who's restrictive. Don't be restrictive, just do nothing. You can be discernment. If you don't feel it, if it's not coming towards you yet, then do nothing. Do nothing. That was the Two of... Look at her, there she is. The Two of Swords, I can't make that up. Do nothing. Do nothing until he arrives. Do nothing until he arrives. I keep asking, what's the opportunity? Shh. It's coming out of nowhere. So how else could I think that's what, but it's fulfilling. It's fulfilling. It's coming out of nowhere. So I think that's the thing is like, I can't really get too much deeper into what the opportunities are and what they'll look like, because it's all dependent upon each and every single individual. It's all dependent on where you are when you arrive. Remember, I think I said in this one, let's use this as an example. And just in case I did, I don't remember if I did or not, but everybody has the opportunity in this energy to claim what's theirs. Some people, like if all of these are yours, you can claim all of them, but some people will just claim one, and some people just claim two, and you're leaving two on the table. So the thing is what are the opportunities? Well, you just have to wait and see. You'll see them all, and even more will come in, and more will come in. So you don't even have to worry about picking and choosing the right exact thing that, I have to pick the right one. Pick them all if you want. Pick them all. They're all yours. And then just do what you will with them. Sometimes you can say, you know what, never mind. I don't even want this one right now. I'll save this one for later. And you can do that. It's a possibility. So let me see, what time is it? And then we'll see if we're going to go into the next one. Oh, we're at like 55 seconds. You know what? I'll save it for an extended. I'm going to look and see what's going on the other side. Let me pull like a quick one really quick and just see what's going on the other side of things, the collective society with the colonized mind and all that kind of stuff. Because it's great to use that as like a cautionary tale. So I'll pull it with 10 of Wands already, huh? Let me see. Ooh, the Tower. Fuck, yeah. I knew that I need to show that card for some reason, but yeah, it's coming in. Let's see what's fueling it. And we don't need it reversed, honestly. Ooh, the Knight of Cups, which is reminding me of a different Knight of Cups. So we have the 10 of Wands. So this is disturbance in the soul, to say the least. This is all of my gifts are a burden. So some people are going to see, they're obviously in a tower moment, I think, or they're not going to recognize that there's a tower moment. I don't know. With the Knight of Cups here, fueling all of this energy, I kind of feel like some of these people might be out here living in La La Land, trying to offer, like, this is the scammer. They don't see the tower coming, hence, being reversed. They don't see it coming. They don't know. Because they're too busy trying to scam. And even if they do see it coming, they don't know how it's coming or what's coming. They're limited in their perspective. So, that could be that. We'll see. But yeah, this is somebody who's got lots of disturbance in the soul. Page of Wands. This is, there's a... I feel like the energy just keeps adding more wands. Like, oh, how about this? And, adding, how about some studying, Like, I feel like they're compelled to do a lot of different things. And this is long-term, yeah, Nine of Wands. And then the Seven of Pentacles. I feel like, to be totally honest, maybe I won't do the extended. Maybe I will. We'll see. You'll know if there's a link down below. But the energy for the most part here is the other side. I think the cautionary aspect of this is all of this stuff is here. So why wouldn't you take advantage of it? Why wouldn't you take the time to study? Why wouldn't you take the time to, you're going to have that time, but the longer you wait, the more exhausting these things are going to feel. It's going to feel tiring. So you have to put the work in. And some people, I don't know, I can't say if they're putting in the work. Maybe they're ignoring it altogether. They're too busy ignoring what's going on to handle this. Yeah, I think I'll do an extended because, let's find out why. Yeah. So head over to the extended if you want to know with more complexity what's going on the other side of things. This could be with people that who are still kind of stuck in that mindset. This could be if you're interested in the societal energies of the overall collective, things like that. We'll do a small extended. Yeah, because I kind of want to clarify this. Okay, everybody. So that's the Jupiter and Gemini reading. And yeah, please go back to the beginning and take that in. Follow your joy. That's all you got to do. There are going to be plenty of opportunities, and if anybody's telling you exactly what those opportunities are, they're probably full of shit. I'm going to be totally honest because I can't figure out what it is. I've been experiencing this in my own side of the world, in my own corner. Everything that happens out of the blue. It's like stuff's coming in from other realities. It's very much like beam me up, Scotty. It's very sci-fi in the energy. Stuff just is quantum leaping into my timelines, and I couldn't tell, I don't question it. I just go with it, to be totally fucking honest. But that's how the change is happening. It's on a quantum level. And so there's no way of predicting what it will be. It just needs to be, you got to be open and you got to be present, and then you've just got to receive what you want, and you don't have to receive everything. Totally honest. Like if all the cards are on the table and half of them are shitty, you know what I'm saying? Someone's like, do you want to have a midlife crisis? And you're like, well, do I have to take that? And the energy's like, no. You could just choose to do the one where you, I don't know, go to the Ritz-Carlton instead. I just picked that, you know, like you don't have to take everything, but you have the option to. You have the option to take just what you want. The point is to acknowledge it though, because if you acknowledge it and you go, well, I don't want the midlife crisis, then you can alchemize it and send it away. If you don't acknowledge it though, that'll be a fear hanging around the back of your head, and by not acknowledging it, it stays in your energy and it'll be pulling on you and draining you and this, that, and the other. So acknowledge everything and then choose the path in which you wish to go down, and then use all the bad stuff to alchemize the energy to get you going down the good path. You know what I mean? Let it go. The way that you alchemize it is by letting it go, because then the body has to release it. And in releasing it, it has to break it down. And when you break things down, energy is neither created nor destroyed, it's redistributed. So that's the science behind it. So go ahead and do that. Yeah, but I'm gonna clarify this and the extended, so I'll see you guys over there. Bye.